everyone. Welcome to another episode of Inner Peace, Better Health. I'm your host Avik, and today we have an amazing guest, Dr. Leonor Carvalho. So, welcome to the show, Dr. Leonor.
Hi, thank you, and nice to be here today.
Lovely, lovely, Dr. Leonor. It's great to connect with you. And today we are talking about something great. It seems too word, but it has a lot of value. Burnout and purpose. Yes. So, dear listeners, before we delve deep into this topic, I'll quickly love to introduce you to Dr. Leonor. Dr. Leonor is a burnout coach and hypnotherapist who helps professionals break free from burnout and reconnect with themselves to create a balanced and the fulfilling life. So, her journey from experiencing burnout while researching molecules to becoming a beacon of hope for the others is truly, truly inspiring. So, let's dive into this enlightening conversation about burnout and finding the purpose. So, welcome to the show again, Dr. Leonor.
Hello, yes. So,
Lovely. Yeah. Please, please. You're saying something.
yes. Now I was just going to maybe talk a bit about my own journey and
Yeah.
how it connects with me burning out by not being aligned with my purpose.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. Thanks for that bringing this up. Like, if you can share your personal experience, because I believe, from your personal experience with the burnout, and also at the same time, like if you can share like how it led to your current path, will be actual learning for the listeners. So, if you can share, yeah,
So, I burn out not only once, but twice.
Mhm.
So, my first burnout, it was when I was 10 years ago when I was working as a researcher. And then I burned out because of too much work, because I was not taking care of myself. I was just working, neglecting my needs. And that burnout set me into a journey of self discovery, to discover who I was, what was my purpose, what are my values, because I knew any of that. I didn't know it. I was just acting on autopilot, acting on the expectations of my family, of society. And I really thought that a degree and a paycheck were the keys to happiness. And then a few years later, I decided to start my own business after taking my coaching and hypnotherapy certification. And in the beginning of me starting my own business to support myself, I took another role. The issue was that this role was not aligned at all with what I wanted.
yeah,
It was taking time and energy that were throwing me away from my purpose, from what I really wanted. So, uh, and the fact that I was going against it, that I was going against my purpose, going against what I really wanted with my life, was creating me a lot of emotional stress. And the accumulation of that made me go into burnout again. Because, but the good thing here is because I already had done all this work before on myself, I could stop it before I went very deep into burnout. So it was burnout, but it was not as severe as the first one.
Mhm. Understood. So, okay. So, one more thing is here that for this, what's the turning point that made you realize for the change?
I remember that I was one day working and I just had this insight: this is not my place.
Uh,
This is not my place.
so, was the inner voice you were saying?
Yes. My inner voice just kept on saying, like, and it was getting louder and louder. This is not my place. This is not what I'm supposed to do. This is not what I'm supposed to put my energy in. And from there, it was clear that okay, I need to go away.
Mhm. Understood.
But I still ignored that voice for I think two,
Okay.
3 months because of the money. So there was these things. But then, like, just the
Yeah.
purpose the purpose calling was stronger than the financial.
Exactly. And we all do the same thing. Like so like we often think. So if we take this example, like If you're thinking to start our own thing and we have to leave our permanent job, then we think, okay, then how will I run my daily life, all those things, and this comes definitely. It's a very natural thing, yes. So it's incredible, like how such challenging experiences can lead to the profound transformation. And I have to say, your story definitely is inspiring. So, and also, like, for the burnout, um I know, like, people are very much aware about the word burnout, but if you can briefly define it, what is burnout, and what are some of the common signs that uh, someone might be experiencing it?
So I like to define it as simply as a prolonged or excessive exposure to stress,
Mhm.
where you start to disconnect, where you feel exhausted. And so in the signs, normally you kind of start by having some physical signs,
Mhm.
like you get sick more often, you get all kind of body pains and aches, headaches, and from that it evolves into like and you have this exhaustion that no matter how much you sleep, you don't recover and you don't feel like motivated to do anything. You kind of disconnect from life because you don't have it in you, as if your battery ran off.
Mhm. Understood. So, like, are there any signs, or maybe the subtle signs, that people often overlook?
Yes,
Mhm.
there is a sign that I see very often, and I saw it in myself in my first burnout, is that people get obsessed with work because it
Mm,
kind of starts with the need to prove yourself. And
mm,
you get obsessed with work. So you forget about everything else in your life.
mm,
The hobbies and the things that you once enjoyed, you don't have energy and time for do that because you need to work and you work all the time. So there is a thing that you cannot disconnect, you cannot disengage with from work. And this sign is often overlooked because people think it's dedication. People think I'm just very dedicated to my work. This is the price of success, and it is not. When you are in this stage that you forgot about everything else, and you just live to work, and you even forget to eat, or you try to optimize it by eating in front of the computer, for example. This is a big warning sign that you should take a look at your life, take a look at what you're doing, and take care of yourself. Because from here, the journey is not pretty if you continue like this.
mm. Understood. That's very true. Yeah. And I have to say that it's so important to recognize the signs early on. And what we suggest, like how someone can recognize it.
It kind of first you need, in a way, you need to tune in into your body. You need to tune in with yourself because there is a big disconnection from yourself when you enter into burnout. So, and you kind of pay attention. If, for example, if you had a hobby that you don't have time and energy to go there to do it anymore, it's a sign. Uh, if you have a shift of values, that things that matter to you don't matter anymore, that's a sign as well. Because you become disconnected, and then there is the void, there is an exhaustion, a void. So just pay attention, and also people around you, they might notice difference in you. For most, if you have loved ones, people near you, they will most likely call your attention. They're like, okay, you look different, you might be very stressed, you might be burning out, you need to take care of yourself. Listen to them because they observe you from the outside, and it's very important.
Exactly. It's very truly said, yeah. And like, uh what to say, I mean, uh for the purpose, like, what's the role does purpose play in overcoming the burnout, and how can someone start to rediscover their purpose if they feel lost?
Okay. So what happens is that when you're not aligned with your purpose, when you don't even know what it is that there will always be kind of a sense of emptiness, because in a way what you're doing, it doesn't give you meaning, it doesn't give you a sense of meaning, it doesn't fulfill you.
Mm.
And that causes on the long run emotional stress. That is why, like, there is different types of burnout, and one of the types of burnout is when you are in a job or when you are working in something that doesn't give you purpose of meaning. And if you're completely lost about your purpose, what was supposed to be doing, what you really like, I have two questions that I normally ask people, because we block ourselves from our purpose because of two things: money, as we
Mm.
talked before, and fear of failure. So just ask yourself, if money would not be a problem, what could I be doing? And if failing would not be a problem, what would I be doing?
Mm. Exactly.
And this might give you some hints about what is that you really like. Just reflect about this, and it's life changing.
Correct. Understood. And so, like, I mean, finding that purpose can be powerful motivator. So, I truly agree with you. And on this, like, if you can explain, so I'm just moving from purpose to hypnotherapy, just to correlate. I mean, how hypnotherapy can help individuals dealing with the burnout?
So, in many things, for example, I use hypnotherapy a lot to heal limiting beliefs, especially limiting beliefs that we acquire during childhood, these survival strategies that make us go work a lot and all the time to prove ourselves, to prove our worth. There is this. Also, I use it to help to teach people how to relax and to overcome mental barriers that they have with relaxing, with taking a break, with prioritizing themselves. And also, it can help you to connect with purpose. Once you overcome these limitations, you will become more open to it.
Exactly. And like, I mean, do you have any success stories from your practice that you can share? Maybe you do not have to share the name, but if you can share the story.
In terms of people reconnecting with their purpose or overcoming burnout, because I have
Both, both.
both. Yeah. Uh, Let me. Sorry.
No, no. I was just listening to you. Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So, for example, I had a client a few years ago in terms of burnout. She was a business owner. She was a mother. She was completely burned out, dealing with business, financial insecurity, and kids. And then we work, and she hadn't taken vacation in like 3 years because she was very afraid that if she would stop, her business would stop and she would not have money and bankrupt. And kind of we worked uh, on her learning how to manage her stress, on her learning how to manage her thoughts. And by the end of our work together, she took almost a month of vacation, and she didn't even feel guilty about it.
Mm.
And her business didn't suffer. She continued to have her business and she's thriving. So it was all about like stories that she was telling herself that were keeping her stuck on this. So it was about
Mm.
breaking these stories.
Yeah. Exactly. I can understand. So, also, like, uh, hypnotherapy sounds like definitely a fascinating approach, and I really love the success stories which you mentioned. But what are the practical steps that someone can take to prevent the burnout and maintain a healthy work-life balance?
Uh, Practical steps. First one, which it might be difficult without help, is to start to learn how to question your thoughts. so that you don't buy into these stress stories that you tell yourself. And then is to rest, to prioritize rest, to make rest is necessary, but we tend to set it aside. Is not important, and to rest, to do some things that nurture you, not that like do other things in life besides work, so that you get some kind of balance, and so
Mm.
that you are not kind of on the minus all the time.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, how can they integrate these steps into the daily routine?
Rest, if you're just working all the time, just put it in your schedule and do it like some other activities and just work. Put it in the schedule and do it non-negotiable. Otherwise, you're just going to end up working all the time and do nothing else.
Mm,
So this is like
mm,
easy, and
mm,
you can like implement it. The other one is to kind of start to pay attention to your thoughts, and if you have a negative thought, for example, notice in your body how it feels, because if it's a thought that is creating you anxiety, creating you extra stress, you're going to feel it in your body. So start to tune in with the wisdom of your body
mm.
so that you can put a stop on that thought and
Okay.
respond, like have a
Mm,
healthy response to it instead of just reacting out of stress.
mm. Got it. Yeah. So, like, also, like, what's the practical advice? And any practical advice, if you can share, like, it will be really, really great.
In terms of burnout prevention,
In, I mean, overall, if you can share for the today's discussion.
so it's if you are stuck in a job that you
Mm,
feel is killing you inside,
mm.
just try to reconnect with something that you like doing and you forgot about it.
Yeah.
Try to like think about, okay, those questions I said before, ask them to yourself about what if failure was not the problem, what if money was not the problem, and then you don't really need to leave your job immediately, or maybe not at all, but try to find an outlet, something to do when you're not working, that connects you with that gives you a sense of meaning, that makes you feel alive, so that you can recharge your battery, so that you don't drain out. And that already will make a big difference.
Understood. And I mean, it's really, really great. And if someone wants to connect with you, how they can connect?
So they can connect through my website, leonorcoaching.com, or via LinkedIn, which is my main platform. And you can find me like in my address is Leonor dash coaching, that Leonor dash Carvalho dash coaching.
Hmm. Wow, that's lovely. Great. So thank you, Leonor, for sharing your wisdom and experiences with today. And to all the listeners, remember that finding inner peace and better health is a journey, and it's never too late to start. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share it with your friends, stay inspired, stay balanced, and keep striving for a life of purpose and the well-being. So until next time, this is your host Avik signing off from Inner Peace and Better Health.